Hey guys, good morning. Real quick, I'll keep it short and sweet. MEG was the IPO that we were looking at yesterday. I guess they didn't want to share the spotlight with JMF, JAMF, so they pushed it back till today. So MEG is on watch for today. JMF looks interesting, maybe around 38 or 39 for a scalp. This market seems to be kind of in a hit and run mode, so I'm not really into buying new positions here and holding them. Netgear obviously did really well last night, crushed the earnings. We've moved up into earnings. This should be a $50 stock, but I think within this time frame here, you're going to see some consolidation between 29.50, 30, maybe 30.50, and 33 before I can push higher. The numbers do equate to a stock that should be trading much higher. LRN, we got in this high 30s, low 40s, depending on when you got in, and now we're bumping back up against that 50 area that we looked at before. You can kind of see how we curled back up into it, and now we're pressing against that level again. And you could probably see a push through there. I mean, it was nice that we had a close in that area in the 49s, right? It's our highest close that we've had, and now we're pushing back up against that area too. And we're not getting any price rejection here, so we could bust up through there, and then the smart money might be selling it. But longer term, our price target here is low 60s. If this becomes a trend, then this stock could just be the beginning of something of a multi-year move, where online schooling and education becomes more of the norm. So interesting stock from an investment standpoint. That's why we always try to keep half of our position. And it's got a nice move coming up right here, so it's probably going to push up against it. This one will be a watch intraday too for a trade or a scalp maybe. There is one that's kind of interesting this morning. YVR, Liquid Media. It's going to be a day trader special, so I'm kind of on the fence on what I want to do with this one. Why am I not pulling it up? YVR, Young Victor Romeo. It's had a lot of crazy action, whips and stuff like that. If you look at a 4-year, at least it has a nice baseline around $1, but now you're double that in 240. So I'd like to see this hold the 225, 230 area. I had some in pre-market in 240s and sold the 303, 305, 307. And the reason I sold is if you look at the 1-year daily, you can see that back in this area here, we had like a little bit of a break right in here. And the last high candle before the break was right around this 3 area. Now we got up to 309, and the high in this candle area before the breakdown was 311. So they sold into that move. This is just a channel chart carryover, channel line carryover, but it's an interesting company. So I'm gonna keep it on watch. If it pulls back into the 225 area, it might be something worth holding. And then we could probably put a stop at around $1.90 on a close, $1.95. But I don't know that this is done yet. I just don't like the intraday. The movement here we saw in the pre-market, once it broke the VWAP, it got crushed. So now you see it kind of baselining a little bit. And then we had some shape change here. And we're kind of back testing the pivot. Like here's the shape change. And now here's the pivot. And we're kind of back testing that 239 area. But I'd like to see it come off there with more energy. So it'll be on watch, but I'm not really convinced. You can see a lot of small trading in here. 500 shares, 1,000 shares. But we'll keep it on watch. MEG is going to be my focus. TNXP. Yesterday, I don't know if I mentioned this one. We got in $1.28, $1.29. It was nice to see it up as high as $1.60 this morning, but we'll see how that one goes. Nice little gain on that one. But MEG will be my focus. And there's a lot of stuff gapping this morning, but nothing that really piques my interest for a continuation move. We got a little bit of a sell on the news on FVAC. Our boy was on CNBC this morning speaking. There is a channel resistance line right up around 1545. I got really close in pre-market, and then they sold into it. Like I said, this one's going to be a patient holding for me, looking for a lot higher prices longer term, but I'll have to deal with the ups and downs in between. AYRO, that little secondary offering they had, or that direct offering, took the wind out of its sails. But when it comes down to the electric vehicle area, um, this has support around 446 on a Fibonacci. There's only a few that I like. Solo, I looked at the product. I'm not really keen on it. So I'm kind of neutral on Solo. The reason I like AYRO is because it's more of a niche market. They're not competing directly with like the Teslas, and it's more of a commercial grade vehicle. We're starting to get a little bit of a curl in Solo, but I'm not convinced. So Solo, not so much. Workhorse, it's okay, I'd say. But could be a little bit suspect here to some wild gyrations because we've had a nice move from, $1 up to 20 something, and this probably has to pull back even more before you're going to get a continuation move, or there's going to have to be some outstanding news to back this move that we've seen. So that's the story for this morning. MEG is my focus. What else do we have? RNLX, we talked about time over 1470. It's kind of bouncing around there, not a big volume mover in pre-market, pulling back a little bit. And that'll be my focus for now. If anything else comes up, I'll text you guys.